Yeah. There we go. Hey, everybody. It's a happy day in America today. President Trump has just done the impossible. Well, I guess not impossible. Matter of fact, he made it look pretty damn easy. Donald Trump has just captured overnight the illegitimate president of Venezuela, Nichlas Maduro. This piece of crap has been terrorizing his people and supporting all the cartels, and he's supporting America's enemies: Iran, China, Russia. Uh, I'm like, I'm at a loss for words right now. I cannot believe what's going on. So I don't think people understand the significance of what this means. Not only does capturing Nicolas Maduro and seizing control of Venezuela actually, I'm telling you, there's going to be so many self-deportations now of people going back to Venezuela because they actually have an opportunity to rebuild their own country into a good place to live like it used to be before Maduro, before socialism, when Venezuela was a capitalist country. And here we are. The MAGA movement has begun, the Make Earth Great Again movement. And Donald Trump and Republicans, you, me, anybody that wears one of these hats, anybody that voted for Trump, you are responsible for creating world prosperity and peace. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. The Dems are going to go nuts. You know, they love tyrants more than anybody on the planet. Can you believe? I'm just so shocked right now. I am so shocked. I haven't done a political broadcast in a few months. I've been pretty damn busy at work. The end of the year is the busiest time for solar, and I've been kind of just trying to focus on my Bible live stream, and so I've been doing that. But I got up and I went to the restroom and I was looking on my phone and I see the headline: President Trump captured Nicolas Maduro. I was like, no way. This has to be some sort of clickbait, some sort of fake story. There's no possible way that could have happened overnight with zero casualties. Can you believe it? Zero casualties. The entire world has got to be, well, not the entire world. The entire world, or for the most part, the normal human beings that live in the entire world are ecstatic. We're finally seeing a force for good in the world that's actually has some power to make some shit happen. Pardon my language, but what can you say? The governments all over the world are shaking in their freaking boots right now. Shaking in their boots. If Donald Trump can, well, I'm not saying Donald Trump flew in there. Hey. Well, that's wonderful. How could you say you love my streaming content when this is literally the first kick broadcast I've ever done? I appreciate you trying to get me to spend some money on your thing, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm not spending no money on your thing. Thank you. Have a good day. All right. So, so yeah, the governments around the world are quaking in their boots. If Donald Trump can send in the military to capture Nicolas Maduro and his family in Venezuela and no casualties, no criminal on the planet is safe. That's what this means. And so not only that, but when we free Iran and we kick out the radical Islamist terrorists that are running the country over there, they're not going to be able to flee to Venezuela. We're cutting off their escape routes, whatever. We're cutting them off. And yeah, I am so excited for the people of Venezuela. They're going to get their country back. They're going to get to have a free and fair election. See, Venezuelan elections were run the same way American elections were, with the same equipment. Dominion voting machines are a product of Venezuela. And they came across, I don't know what, 20 years ago, 15 years ago? I don't know how long we've had the Dominion voting machines, but they are a Venezuelan product, and they are designed to help you cheat elections. And it's been proven. Hey, baby. And so this is a turning point for the world. They're going to rise up. They're going to rise up and start demanding what they should have, which is freedom and democracy. They're going to start making their own constitutions, probably similarly based on ours. You know, the youngest, well, maybe we might not be the youngest country anymore, but we're definitely the youngest superpower on the history of the face of the planet. And we are shaping the world now. All right, there's another video I wanted to share with you guys, because I am almost at a loss for words now. But yeah, oh wait, yeah, here. This was the election results. Nichlas Maduro got 30% of the vote. 67% went to Edmundo Gonzalez. But Nichlas Maduro used his army, used his cartel control to violently steal the country. And so, and then he had the gall to tell Donald Trump, well, you want to do something about it? Come and get me. Gotcha. He did. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, where's that other video? It was this guy. Oh, yeah, this is good. Here we go.
A lot of these liberals, leftist Marxists in the United States of America, they talk about socialism and they talk about communism. And a lot of these Democrats sitting down in the U.S. office, me as a Mexican, I can tell you, all these white privileged liberals, they have never lived in the third world class country. They have never lived what we have lived. They have never experienced narco-terrorism, dismembered bodies, decapitated heads, extortion, kidnappings, missing women and missing people, extraction of organs. They have never experienced what is a dictator in a regime transforming out of socialism. And in your political language, it is all the fault of the sanctions and the embargo. Yep. All of that, that's what you use. But you don't come over here to the main place and try to cross that border. I don't see you doing that. I'm walking right now on the border of Simón Bolívar, where millions of migrants from Venezuela on an exile and on an exodus, they left their country because of necessity, because of the regime, and because of the dictator, Nichlas Maduro, Diosdado Cabello, and Padrino López. Because of those three, they control the fractions of cartel.
Sorry, I got to go back. I had to do that. The first time I watched this, I had to hear the name twice, and I got to hear it in.
They left their country because of necessity, because of the regime, and because of the dictator, Nichlas Maduro, Diosdado Cabello, and Padrino López. Because of those three, they control the fractions of Cartel de los Soles, Tren de Aragua, and all the regimes. They have basically destroyed the peace of the Venezuelan people. All of you that you pandered to the narco regime of Nichlas Maduro, you have never walked the Darien Gap and suffered the consequences as the Venezuelan people have. But you advocate for a dictator, and you advocate for a guy that is basically punishing and torturing their own people. Right here, I'm standing in the middle of this bridge, where it's the limitations between Venezuela and Colombia. I'm going to go all the way to the limitation, so you will have the gall challenging you the white progressive mercenary liberal that is advocating for Nichlas Maduro. Padrino.
The white progressive mercenary liberal. That's about as apt as you can get.
Lopez and the dictator Diosdado Cabello. I'm challenging you to cross this line with your white privilege liberal agenda. I'm challenging you to come over here and have the balls to cross over here and see what happens to you with this dictator. Just recently, I was just standing over here doing a hit with my network, and they send the National Guard and some colectivo on a motorcycle to threaten my life, to say, if I don't stop recording, they will push me to the other side so the regime can hold me for captive. So I want to know, to all of you, that you advocate for socialism, and you say, this is not socialism, this is not communism. Why don't you come over here and cross this line? I'm right here. But you advocate over there in the United States of America, and you're a tough guy on your social media, all on your social media platforms, but you don't come over here. You don't try to cross this line. It's so easy to advocate on social media, but it's so hard for you to come over here and try to cross with your white privilege this place right here. To all you white progressive mercenary liberals, Hispanic liberals, black liberals that are defending Marxism, socialism, communism, and a left progressive mercenary woke agenda, I advise you to come over here and see if you have the balls to cross this line. And when you cross this line and you show your American passport to that regime that is behind me, let's see what happens to you. Make a phone call. As a matter of fact, it's on me. I will pay your plane ticket to come over here and see if you can cross, and see if you're such a patriot, and see if you have the gall and the courage to know what these people are going through. These people are going through a dictator, a regime. It is oppressing the freedom of speech and the freedom to live. It's not because of the Sanchez. It is because of a dictator. And everybody knows, and everybody can tell you, El Mundo González.
I think he's saying sanctions, but every time I heard, could have swore he said Sanchez, but I think he's saying sanctions.
Urrutia and Maria Corina Machado won the elections, and they were stolen from them. So you already know I'm in the limitation between Venezuela and Colombia. You're invited to come. It is so easy to pick up a plane ticket and come over here. And don't tell me that you don't have the freedom and the economy to do so, because you have it, but you don't have the courage to come over here and cross that line. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News, reporting from the limitations of Venezuela and Colombia, right there on the borderline. For all of you guys, stay safe.
So yeah, there you have it. Oh, look, more people celebrating in the street. Oh, it's just in Peru. It's not even in Venezuela.
Venezuela. Venezuela. Al fin, señor, gracias. Gracias, mi Dios.
Por fin, Bisaya.
Spain. Look at this. The whole world is celebrating what Donald Trump just did. Oop, sorry about that. I keep getting notifications from my doorbell camera because it's so damn windy out there. So every time the tree blows, I get a notification. And when I get a notification, and if I click on it, it stops whatever I'm... Sorry about that. It's Argentina and Buenos Aires.
Vamos.
All of South and Central America are excited and celebrating this. America's most racist president has done the most to help other races. Isn't that so awkward and weird? Oh, it's so funny. Oh, these people, they can't get out of their own way. Oh, the Venezuelan man is going viral for explaining to everyone why Maduro. Oh, ooh, okay. That sounds like
My
a good one.
sister, my extent. Okay.
I haven't
As a
seen it.
Venezuelan American, I got some shit to say.
Oh.
My family, my parents, my sister, my extended family, all lost everything. Their work, their savings, their investments, gone. Wiped out by a narco dictatorship that has held Venezuela in a death grip for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And what happened to my family has happened to millions. And yes, millions. The Venezuelan exodus is the second largest displacement crisis on earth after Syria. This is not just a tragedy. It is one of the great humanitarian disasters of our time. But the suffering doesn't end there. This regime has jailed hundreds of political prisoners. Thousands have been murdered simply for speaking out. More than a third of the population has fled. 1/3. Not for better opportunities or for the American dream, but to survive, to live, because staying often means death. And while the world may see Venezuela as a collapsed state, what it is in reality is an occupied one. Our territory, our natural resources, and our institutions have been overrun by hostile foreign powers. Iranian militias, Chinese corporations, Russian intelligence, all exploiting our country with impunity. Venezuela is no longer just a local crisis. It is now a geopolitical threat that endangers the entire Western Hemisphere. It has become a launch pad for an authoritarian expansion in the Americas. And in the midst of all of this, one woman has dared to lead the charge for freedom. Maria Corina Machado. In 2024, against every odd, she led a peaceful democratic uprising that won the election. Her team smuggled physical voting receipts out of the country, hard proof of victory that the regime tried to bury. Her courage has lit a fire in the hearts of millions of Venezuelans, desperate to believe that change is still possible. But now some have questioned her decision to dedicate her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. Okay, I get that. But here's the truth. It was a brilliant strategic move in the global chessboard of politics. Maria Corina is no fool. She knows exactly the kind of man Trump is. She knows how much he campaigned for it, loudly and relentlessly, to win that very same prize. She knows how symbolic and personal that recognition.
To be fair, he deserved it. He deserved it. Maybe even more than this lady, but I'm not going to get into that. But he has deserved the Nobel Prize since the first time he was president. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. It was stolen from him because of politics, because he was who he was. Now, if Donald Trump had been a Democrat and accomplished everything that he had accomplished, he would have won the Nobel Prize every time it was up for, up to win. But because he was Republican, nope, absolutely not. You can't allow that. We cannot allow the world to think that nationalism and conservatism are normal and accepted. We cannot allow the world to think that. God forbid anybody gets the idea that they can have freedom for themselves. Because then the left lose all their control. They lose all their power. They're losing it currently as we speak. We're catching all the fraud in Venezuela, in Venezuela too, but in Minnesota, Ohio, all 50 states in the United States have this fraud going on. And now it's been exposed. And now we can start stopping it. We can start nipping it in the bud. I would not be surprised. I was thinking about this yesterday. I would not be surprised if once we get all of this fraud, if we're able to get it all under control, but even just a significant amount of it under control and ended and stopped, Donald Trump could have this deficit erased by the time his term is over. Could you imagine if this one of the number one political talking points of both sides has been the federal deficit? You know, each one is blaming the other. You know, well, you caused it, and you caused it, you caused it, you caused it. Well, imagine if Donald Trump was able to take not only imagine if he outlawed or abolished the IRS, instituted the ERS, and then got rid of the federal deficit through the reduction and stopping of fraud. What would history books say about him? Would they say, would they emphasize his mean tweets? You know, him. I'll be honest, sometimes he has some pretty childish behaviors, and some of the things he says online, pretty childish. I'll admit it, but I'm pretty childish too. I can get along. I can get behind most of it, almost all of it. I can get behind. I can see it from his point of view. But yeah, all right. But I digress. Back to the video.
Mission is to him. And precisely because of that, she understood that this gesture might be the thing that keeps his attention focused on Venezuela at a time when U.S. presence and pressure in the Caribbean is rising. She didn't dedicate that award to flatter him. She did it to protect and preserve the one kind of power that could help shift the course of history.
She did it because he deserved it. It's the one thing I disagree with what you've said so far. You know, maybe there was a strategy behind it also, but she did it because he deserved it.
Because for her, this isn't about pride. It's not about optics. It's about freedom. And let's be very clear. Maria Corina is not asking for the U.S. to invade Venezuela. She's not campaigning for war. Venezuela is already invaded. It is held hostage by a narco state, overrun by foreign agents and enemies of democracy, Russians, Iranians, Chinese, all operating freely, weaponizing our land and resources to expand their influence across Latin America. What Maria Corina is calling for, what millions of Venezuelans are praying for, is the support of the only military on earth capable of countering that threat and helping to free our people. This is not imperialism. This is liberation. She's not playing partisan games. She's playing for Venezuela's life. Because this isn't theoretical. This isn't academic. This is life or death. So yes, it is time to honor her bravery, but more importantly, it is time for the world, especially the free world, to recognize what's at stake. The fight for Venezuela is a fight for freedom, for democracy, and for the stability of an entire continent. If we truly care about liberty, human dignity, and peace in the Americas, then Venezuela's fight must matter to all of us. Que viva Venezuela, que viva Maria Corina Machado.
Yeah, viva. All right. Oh, China went to meet with Maduro today to discuss joining forces. Then Trump captures Maduro the same day. Savage. In fact, the Chinese delegation is still in Venezuela. Venezuela. The Chinese president is over there having a meeting. Oh, that's priceless. He got I'm sorry. That's too good. Oh, sorry, you're not having this meeting. Meeting adjourned. Oh, that's priceless.
Qué increíble, ¿verdad? Bueno verte. Me traes muy buenos recuerdos. Feliz año. Este es el año del caballo, ¿verdad, Salvador? Usted es caballo. Yo soy tigre. Tú. Tanto tiempo. Yo lo conocí a él muy joven. Muy joven. Hace 20 años. Hace 20 años. Sí. Como traductor cuando estaba el presidente conquistado. Ahora es director. Qué increíble, ¿verdad? Como pasa el tiempo. Estás igual. Qué bueno verte.
Oh, that
Traes
is
muy buenos recuerdos.
priceless. I'm at a loss for words. Oh, I am going to be laughing about that for days. All right, Trump could have killed this man in his sleep, but instead he's giving Maduro a fair trial. Something Maduro never granted his opponents. Today, a religious authority stepped in and removed that evil without starting another war. All right, that sounds worthwhile to listen to.
Venezuela plummeted from one of the richest countries in the Americas to a total pariah state in just a couple of decades. Hyperinflation, starvation, millions fleeing, all because Chavez Maduro imposed radical socialism, seizing industries and crushing freedom in the warm embrace of collectivism. But today, January 3rd, 2026, justice has finally come. President Trump ordered a precise professional operation. Nichlas Maduro and his wife were arrested by U.S. personnel and are now headed to America to stand trial on serious charges, narco-terrorism, flooding our streets with deadly drugs, and more. No endless war. No unnecessary American bloodshed. A clean arrest of an indicted dictator. Trump could have killed this man in his sleep, but instead, he's giving Maduro a fair trial, something Maduro never granted his opponents who were jailed, tortured, or killed.
Yep.
Romans 13:3 says, "For rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad." For far too long, Nichlas Maduro was a terror to good conduct, destroying lives in Venezuela and helping kill hundreds of thousands of Americans through the fentanyl and drugs his regime enabled. Today, a righteous authority stepped in and removed that evil without starting another war. And just as Proverbs 29:2 declares, when the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. The Venezuelan people groaned for years under wicked rule. Now, go check social media.
Wow.
Videos everywhere of Venezuelans leaning out of their windows, cheering in the streets, USA, USA, pure rejoicing in the streets, pure rejoicing in their homes, and even among the diaspora. Liberals are melting down, of course, but where was their outrage over hundreds of thousands of Americans who lost their lives to fentanyl from Maduro's regime, or the millions of Venezuelans who endured starvation, human trafficking, and oppression?
Yep.
This stands on 200 years of precedent. The Monroe Doctrine and Rose.
Because liberals don't care about any of you. They don't care about any of you. Black, white, Somali, doesn't matter. They don't actually care about anyone. It's all about power. And it's all about their political ideology being embraced and lifted up. That's the only thing that matters to them. They will throw anybody under the bus if it means more power for them, including entire populations of countries like Venezuela, countries like Iran. They don't give a flying heck about any of you. You're just a number. You're either with them or against them. And if you're not with them, to hell with you. They'll take everything you have and give it to somebody that will vote for them. Every single time you to your name. If they could take it, they would. Look what's happening in Minnesota. $18 billion worth of fraud in one country, in one state, in like 10 years. $18 billion. I'm telling you, Donald Trump, if he gets this handled the way, the way MAGA guys would want it handled, he could solve the national debt in his term. Gone. No more IRS. The world. You know what? I like that idea, actually. Get rid of the IRS. Have only the External Revenue Agency. And if you want to commit fraud, you have to steal it from some other country. You have to steal it from those people. The Americans, we should not be putting our money into this system anymore. We see what they do with it. It's not worth our dollar.
The corollary, protecting this hemisphere. President Trump defended America, upheld the rule of law, and brought hope to an entire oppressed nation. God bless President Trump, our brave troops, and God bless America.
Amen.
Venezuela.
Yep, it's happening. The world is changing before our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this commie parasite supports narco-terrorist Maduro. No surprise here. Mayor Zowan Mamdani, whatever the hell his stupid-ass name is. I was briefed this morning on the U.S. military capture of Venezuelan President Nichlas Maduro. You're supposed to say it like that, Maduro, and his wife, as well as their planned imprisonment in federal custody here in New York City. Oh, that's got to really chap his hide, right? Unilaterally attacking a sovereign nation is an act of war and a violation of federal and international law. This blatant pursuit of regime change doesn't just affect those abroad. It directly impacts New Yorkers, including tens of thousands of Venezuelans who call this city home. Oh, are you afraid they're going to want to go home? My focus is their safety and the safety of every New Yorker. How? Okay. Explain this to me, Mom Dami. How is your focus on their safety? How is that affected by us liberating a narco-controlled country? How does that affect their safety in New York? It makes no sense at all. My focus is on the safety and the safety of every New Yorker, and my administration will continue to monitor the situation and issue relevant guidance. Relevant guidance. He wants this terrorist supporter wants to issue guidance. Okay. All right. Whatever you say there, Mom Dami. So Marco Rubio drops hard truths on Maduro's downfall after Trump's Venezuelan raid, warning the world, don't play games with the president. That's true. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this, chose instead to act like a wild man, invited Iran into his country, confiscated American oil companies, flooded our country with gang members, and took Americans prisoner. See, the left don't talk about any of this stuff. We have a president who is not a game player. When he tells you he is doing something, he means it. He actions it. This is from Gunther Eagleman on X. I don't know if you guys follow him. If you don't, well, you'd be one of the few people that don't. He has quite a few followers, and I've been following him since I got on X. This is a president of peace. He could have been living elsewhere right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. All right, let's see what they have to say.
Don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, you know, if he says he's serious about something, he means it.
Yep.
And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States. And the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy. But instead, he wanted to play big boy. And so now, you know, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody. But don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Trump wins.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President. Running the country.
Oh, man. Oh, this is the beginning. The beginning. The mega movement. The mega movement. Making Earth great again. We're what she's got to say. This is real reason why Democrats are outraged over Donald Trump capturing Nichlas Maduro. Democrats were sending emails to Venezuelan citizens in Venezuela to register them to vote for Kamala Harris at the 2024 election. Why am I not surprised? I'm not saying that this is true, but I would not doubt it for even an inkling of a second. I believe it's true. Not saying it is, but I believe it is. Venezuela was another Democrat voter fraud operation, which I already knew, though, because the Dominion voting machines came from Venezuela. That's where we got them. However many years ago they came out, I guess I could look that up on Grok before I brought it up. But those Dominion voting machines are Venezuelan made, and they have backdoors into them. They were designed to steal elections. It's what they were made for. Their express purpose was to make elections unfair so that you can control the outcome. And of course, what do? Oh, yeah, we want those here in America too. Yeah, freaking bunch of suicidal people out here in America. I have a friend from Venezuela. She's a gastroenterologist in Venezuela. She showed me today, and she told me, oh, I know they cheated in the 2020 because they've been sending me emails to register to vote to a email account that she opened in Venezuela many, many years ago. She showed me the emails, and she had a bunch of Kamala Harris registered to vote, Kamala Harris campaign. Wait, she showed me the emails, and she had a bunch of Kamala Harris registered to vote, Kamala Harris campaign. And I'm like, wait, are you a permanent resident or are you a citizen? She's like, no. Can someone explain to me how they are sending non-citizens emails to register to vote and vote for Kamala Harris in Venezuela?
So I have a friend from Venezuela that I work with, and she told me something very interesting today. For background, she came here during the Trump administration when they started taking refugees from Venezuela, so she came as a refugee. She is a doctor of many, many years. She's a gastroenterologist in Venezuela, and she's brilliant, and I love her. She's my friend. She's one of the good ones. So
these are the kind of immigrants we need to be bringing into America. Gastroenterologists, medical training, engineers, scientists. We do not need any more unskilled labor. We don't need any more. We've got plenty. America is full of dumbasses. We do not need any more unskilled labor. What we need to do is we need to start implementing programs in the welfare community. Like if you are on welfare and you don't have a part-time job, or you're not trying to better yourself, well, you're the crew that gets to pave roads. We will pay for your rent. We will pay for your childcare. We will provide you with food, not fatty foods, not sodas and chips. No, specific foods, meats, proteins, grains. That's what you get. And during the day, you pave roads. Hard physical labor. And you know what will happen? People will get off of welfare. People will find themselves a job that is easier to do, and they will get off of that system because the system's not fun anymore. Well, who wants to work hard to barely make it? Now, to barely make it and never have to leave your couch, that seems reasonable to a lot of people. So, but the problem is a lot of these people on welfare are living better than those of us who are busting our ass every day. They have jobs under the table, they're being paid cash, and then the government supplements their housing and gives them food and gives them free schooling or whatever the case may be. It's handed to these lowlifes who refuse to do anything with their life. And then, so what do? I guess we don't have enough of these drains on our society, so we import them from countries like Somalia and Haiti, and then we just put them on the government dole. And what does that accomplish? Simple. It accomplishes loyalty to the Democrat Party, because the Democrat Party is the party that wants to put them up in luxury hotels, wants to put $10,000 on their EBT card every month. What do you and I get? Accusations. We're racist for noticing how unfair the system is. Well, you're white. It's unfair for everybody but you because you're white. Bullshit. Freaking bullshit. Sorry about the language, but I guess it took a very big story to bring me back into the limelight here. But this Nichlas Maduro story, it is akin to, well, for me, in this moment, it kind of reminds me how I felt when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and it made me quit playing video games and thrust myself into the public limelight, in honor of him. This has a similar effect. It makes me think, you know what? Maybe I'm not wasting my time being a conservative and having my points of views. Maybe the world really is headed in the right direction. And this isn't all for naught. It's been a lot of time, a lot of years in America where conservatives felt like we were on the outs. And we were never, ever going to be able to repair our country. But I don't think we feel that way anymore. I think we're inspired by all of this. All right. I didn't plan on doing an hour show.
Don't hate on her. But we were talking about the 2020 election today. Can we say that? Are we not going to get banned? I hope not. But we were talking about that today. And she showed me today and she told me, oh, I know they cheated in the 2020 because they've been sending me emails to register to vote to a email account that she opened in Venezuela many, many, many years ago, and that she used for immigration communication when she applied to come here because she came here legally. And she showed me the emails and she had a bunch of Kamala Harris registered to vote, Kamala Harris campaign. And I'm like, wait, are you a permanent resident or are you a citizen? She's like, no. She said, I'm not even a permanent resident yet. Like, she hasn't gotten her papers yet. And she knows that she's not allowed to vote and it's illegal for her to vote, but she's receiving these emails. Unless the White House or the DHS sold her information to a third party, because, it's possible, Why would they send her emails from Kamala's campaign if they know she is not a legal citizen?
I'm sorry. I noticed in the subtitles they spelled Kamala's name with a C. Sorry. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is.
Can someone explain to me why are they sending non-citizens emails to register to vote and to vote for Kamala Harris? Because I get those emails, but I was a registered Democrat before, so I still get those emails. And she has never registered to vote in her life because obviously she's not a citizen and she knows that. So can someone explain to me where would they get her email from? And she didn't get any emails from Donald Trump's campaign, which is, if that was fair, she would get some from his campaign. Only from her campaign. I thought that was weird, but can someone explain to me why that might happen?
Because the Democrats are the party of cheating. That's what they do. They have, well, I can't say they perfected it because they've been caught, but they were close to perfecting it. And they were close to getting to a point where they didn't even have to worry about cheating anymore. They could import enough people to cancel out all our votes. Happy New Year, Lady LDS. How you doing today? Good to have you. It's good to have you here. I saw that Trump went in and captured Nichlas Maduro, and I'm so excited that I had to do a show about it. The first Special Forces Operation Detachment Delta is the unit responsible for capturing Nichlas Maduro. The K9's face is also hidden. That's great. They even blacked out the K9's face. Oh my God, that's funny. So, but yeah, I don't know if you've been following this, but it is true. Donald Trump sent his forces in, captured Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, and we are now basically occupying Venezuela. We are going to take over their oil production system and start getting it working again. And actual Venezuelans are going to benefit from it. Not the narco terrorists, not the drug cartels, not this piece of crap. I've been up half the night. Oh, okay, cool. You have been watching it. Isn't it exciting? Isn't it exciting? The MAGA movement in full effect. All right. Well, I like this. This is good. Look at that. It's Batman. All right, everybody. Well, I think I went way over what I was planning to do. Not that it matters all that much, but Uncle JD. No way. No way. JD. Oh. Okay, never mind. That is not. Oh, it's from my booty or Djibouti. Excuse me. All right. Well, that's my show for today, everybody. Maybe I'll come back on later. I don't know. I'm just so excited about this. This has made my day. I'm sure it's going to be the entire topic of discussion with my dad later on. We're actually doing Christmas dinner tonight because, well, schedules were just too crazy and we couldn't get everybody together on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So we're doing it today. I will have a good day, dear. You too. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for showing up and watching my show. I really appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up like button. It really helps. Well, from what I understand. If I believe what I'm reading about this streaming, it's supposed to help. But so yeah, hit that button, subscribe, share this on your social media. Let's get the word out. All right, everybody. Love you.